Welcome back to Grit Gym. Today we're going over the Save the Shoulder series. This is video 5, and we're going to go over the exercises. We're going to name 3 big exercises that were definitely game changers for me, and how we do it just a little bit different at Grit Gym than your physical therapist and definitely your chiropractor. If you're having a shoulder problem, get away. But what we're going to go over are anatomy. Tori's going to help us out with some of the demonstrations. And then we're going to jump into it. So what do we do? What I've been doing for the last 12 years is people come to me and they have a problem. They can't work out the way they want to. They can't work out the way they need to in order to push out into their life the way they want to. And we help them with that. Because if you can work out consistently, you are going to make progress. And if you're in pain every time that you work out, there's a problem, and we got to listen to that. So shoulder's been nagging. You got a lot of stuff going on. Well, we went over thoracic mobility and the other ones. We went over the rotator cuff yesterday. Now we're going into a few other bigger, maybe not bigger muscles, but different muscles. They're definitely bigger. So we're going to go over the rhomboid that kind of goes like this, and we're going to go over the trap that kind of goes like this, and it actually ends up going all the way up to your neck and out to the end of the shoulder. And then we're actually also going to go after the serratus anterior. That is the big game changer. You have to get on top of this one. This is the one that nobody seems to want to understand, but it attaches along the inside of that shoulder blade, and it wraps around the rib cage this direction, okay? So what we want to get out of this is we want this shoulder blade, the movement of the shoulder blade, we need it to be able to elevate, we need it to be able to upwardly rotate, and we need to be able to pull it forward, okay? So you've got to be able to suck that thing into the rib cage. It needs to be able to upwardly rotate, and it needs to be able to elevate. Otherwise, the shoulder out here, this simple joint, is not so simple, but this joint is going to take the brunt of all of your movement. So we need to get that down. And how do we get to the serratus anterior? Well, Tori's going to show us. So come on down here, and we're going to do, can you follow us? All right, so Tori's going to show how to do a suspension serratus press. So she's going to put her forearms inside. Go ahead. What's up?
You want me to face this way or that way?
Face the door. So we're going to face the door. We're going to put her forearms inside of the rings. All right, what we're trying to do, the serratus anterior, you're going to feel this one about right here. This is what you're trying to get. You're trying to get this motion, that shoulder blade to suck in just a little bit. That's all it is. I'm not talking about this motion. Look at my shoulder blade, suck that sucker in. Okay, when that happens, it's going to pull her shoulder blade up and around. So she needs to get all of her weight onto her left leg, and then she's going to press up and forward, trying to upwardly rotate. Go ahead and take a step forward. Another step forward. All right, so she's trying to get this position to upwardly rotate and press through so she gets a feeling down there. Okay, pull the rib cage down just a little bit. Now press. Yep. All right, so this time, just a little bit less from the shoulders. Now press up and through. Excellent. Rotate just a little bit. Do you feel that right in front of your rib cage? Yes, sir. That's what we want, right in front of the rib cage. All right, let's flip around, show them from behind. Pull these crossed. So when Tori pulls around, you're going to put your hood up. I'm just kidding. You're good. All right, when we're from behind, we want that shoulder blade to pull into the rib cage, and we want that thing to upwardly rotate. So right now, this is the inside of her shoulder blade right here. This is the bottom. Here's the angle. Okay, we want this motion to happen. So she's got to pull that thing forward. She's got to really suck that in. She's got to press through, widen out just a little bit. Okay, and that gets and then pull back, and then keep the shoulder blades apart on the way down. Okay, a little shrug there. Just relax that out. Go for it again. Press, 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 press. All right, now keep that apart as you come down. Keep it apart, keep it apart, keep it apart, keep it apart, keep it apart. Pull the elbows in. Okay, this time go ahead and come up the same way that you came up. Excellent, rotate. Now press through, press through, press through, press through. Come away from my hand, away from my hand, away from my hand. This time, dive bomb your elbows back towards your hips just a little bit more as you come down. Keep that out. Keep that apart. Keep that apart. That's a lot better. Okay, so what we want to do here is most people will, like you included, almost everybody, overdevelops this trap. Okay, this trap dumps the shoulder blade forward into a position that we don't want. We're trying to get these muscles right here and this serratus anterior to pull around and work together synergistically to make the shoulder motion happen the way that we want. What we have, and most people, you can flip around, and most people that have they have a movement dysfunction. The movement dysfunction is what causing the structural damage that is then, and it might not even be structural damage, it's causing some kind of damage that is causing pain and going wrong in the shoulder. We need to correct that movement dysfunction, otherwise you're never going to get better. No amount of like these creams, these detox teas, these soft tissue techniques, all of this stuff. Nothing will help until you until you confront the movement dysfunction. So we have to do that first. Has to be the first thing. A soft tissue technique can get you further towards helping out with that movement dysfunction, but you got to get a new movement. You got to get a new movement pattern in there. So now we're going to go to the prone wall slide up against the wall. So we're going to come over here and just prone wall slide plus retraction. All right. So Tori's going to put all of her weight on her left leg. And then she's going to press up and away at 135 degrees, out to the sides. All right, now pull that shoulder blade around, really press up just like you did. Now pull back and away from my hand, away from my hand, away from my hand, both arms. Pull, pull, pull. Go ahead and pull hard.
I am.
All right, so now she's getting a little bit of posterior tilt, and the reason that she can get that posterior tilt is because these muscles are kicking on, and that serratus anterior is pulling forward. So now she's going to come back to the wall, and then she's going to pull in. This time go a little bit higher with your hands. That upward rotation, that's exactly what we want. Pull, pull, pull. Now pull back away from the wall. Pull, 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 right back through here. That's a lot better. Okay, come back, get one more. Okay, so now our shoulder blade can come back to more of a neutral spot. I'll show you what's going on with your shoulder blade with my hand. Go ahead and come up. Now pull back and away. And it's kind of tilting back like that. That's exactly what we want. And if you can do either of these to get that serratus anterior and that upper back to fire up a little bit, we can stabilize that shoulder. We can get a new movement pattern so that you don't have that same movement dysfunction, so that you don't have any damage, so that you don't have any pain, so that you can work out the way that you want to. Your shoulder will look more aesthetically pleasing, and it'll be able to perform. Lots of good stuff, right? And if you're interested in learning more about this stuff, learning more about your individual circumstance, go to gritgym.com/PDS and sign up for your program design session where we can dig into this stuff and figure out what exactly is the exercise that you need to help you get better. Okay, let's go ahead and do the last one. The last one is scat plane external rotation. So Tori's going to put her hand, I need to get to the other side here. So she's going to put her shoulder blade right into the wall. Okay, she's going to put her hip up against the wall, and then she's going to put her elbow into the wall. Now her free hand is going to go against the front of the shoulder because that kind of gives us a second set of eyes. Okay, so what she's doing here, she's going to externally rotate up to the wall, press into the wall, hard as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now she's going to come down. Now this is the important part. This is what everybody messes up. Okay, as she comes down, it's very easy to dump that shoulder blade forward trying to go further into internal rotation, but she's not going to let that happen, right? And that's about it. Okay, and then come back up. So she wants to force that internal rotation, but we don't want to go too far to where we're actually compromising at the shoulder. Hey, Joe? And then push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in this position, keep going. In this position, and just get 5 of these. This is how the shoulder, or the rotator cuff will actually function in real life, the way that in the position that she's in right now. That took a little bit to get out. So she's coming up. It doesn't, like the rotator cuff, it doesn't really do, like we don't do a lot of stuff down here. Okay, we do a lot of stuff in the scat plane. All right, but the reason we're doing this is you build a lot of strength in the isometric portion, and then where she's pushing against the wall like that, and then when she comes down, she's gaining a new movement pattern, learning how to rotate this upper arm bone inside the shoulder, because we want that to be like your bicep to be like a rotisserie chicken. Okay, there's a rod going through the rotisserie chicken, and we just want to have the motor control to spin the chicken. How's your arm? Does it feel like a rotisserie chicken?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right, so these are 3 different exercises that you can do for your shoulder to save it from further damage, all right? And if you're having a lot of trouble with your shoulder, or you've had problems in the past every time that you've started lifting, so you don't want to lift and you don't feel comfortable lifting, grab a program design session at Grit Gym. It's gritgym.com/PDS. And you'll be able to come in and we'll figure out exactly what's going on with your circumstance. I was watching on social media the other day. I saw this kind of exercise guru, and he was doing all this stuff on the person that he was working with. And I should show this to you. But the dude, he can't pull his shoulder blades into his rib cage, and he's constantly in anterior tilt. And then when he raises his arms up to the side, because his coach keeps on making him do flies. He keeps just winging out every time, and they're like, "Well, we don't understand." And I think it's obvious that they don't understand why this guy's shoulder hurts so much, because they're doing cupping and they're doing all this different kind of soft tissue stuff, and it's just like you're never going to get that better. No amount of soft tissue work is going to get that better until you replace the movement dysfunction with a new movement pattern. And get that serratus anterior to suck that scapula, that shoulder blade into the ribs so that it can actually stabilize itself, and then get the muscles around it stronger instead of just making that upper trap stronger and stronger and stronger and making it take over. I know that this is how it was for me and my shoulder. The trap took over for everything. Mid-low trap didn't work as hard as it needed to. Serratus didn't work as hard as it needed to. And so my shoulder fell to pieces in the weight room, and yours will too if you don't get those down. And if you do get those down, you feel a whole lot better. So go to gritgym.com/PDS. Sign up for a program design session. The link is above, and we'll get you set up, and we'll be able to go through your individual circumstance, figure out if it's a thoracic mobility issue, if it's an alignment issue, if it's a strength issue, if it's a movement pattern dysfunction, whatever it is, so that you can work out the way that you need to push out into your life the way that you want to. But go to gritgym.com/PDS, and we will see you on Monday.